Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the December 28, 2024, last show of the year, installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms, or catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy, nice as in the word saint spelled backwards. And today, my co-hosts are, we got the lovely First Lady J, we got Brother Walk, host of Sex Talk with Walk, Thursday at 9 p.m., and we got the infamous El Pooh, star of Spin That Back, which we're going to have later today at 10:30 a.m. What's going to be on Spin That Back, infamous?
Yes, sir. We're going to be talking about the Fugees today.
That's what's up. So we're missing a bunch of people, people dealing with the flu and whatnot, family. So shout out to brother Mr. Floyd X, and we got brother, I guess it's Student X, and then also we have Afro Agnostics. I know he's doing some things, so he might tap in remotely, but that haven't been said. Let's get to the get. What's going on with you, First Lady J?
Not much, just a little under the weather today, trying to get past this little virus. But glad to be back.
Yeah, it definitely seems like something's going on. What's going on with you, Brother Walt?
I'm good. Trying to avoid the virus, avoiding anybody who might have it or look like they got it. I'm trying to stay. I'm trying not to get sick this year because when I get sick, it'd be bad. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm wired up too, and I'm drinking coffee. No. Hot cocoa. I'm ready.
Infamous El Pooh, what it do?
I'm all right today, man. I was kind of down yesterday. Had to miss work and everything. Stayed in bed all day, basically. But I'm here now. I'm good.
That's what's up. All right, let's get on with it. So first thing up, rest in peace. We hear about Brother Greg Gumbel. Greg Gumbel, the renowned CBS Sports anchor and commentator, has died at the age of 78. His family confirmed the news in a statement on Friday, saying, "It is with profound sadness that we share the passing of our beloved husband and father, Greg Gumbel. He passed away peacefully, surrounded by much love, after a courageous battle with cancer. Greg approached his illness like one would expect he would, with stoicism, grace, and positivity. Leaves behind a legacy of love, inspiration, and dedication to over 50 extraordinary years in the sports broadcast industry, and his iconic voice will never be forgotten. Greg's memory will forever be treasured by his family, dearest friends, colleagues, and all who loved him. Marcy and Michelle Gumbel." So salute to that brother. And with that having been said, let us pivot to the first issue. Now, the first thing that we heard about is this plane crash in, I want to say it's pronounced Kazakhstan, probably destroying it. So I apologize.
Yeah, Kazakhstan.
How do you say it? How do you think?
Kazakhstan.
And oh boy, this is going to be bad. The Azerbaijan Airlines says that the jet crash in Kazakhstan on Christmas Day experienced physical and technical external interference, according to an early investigation, as questions swirled about Russia's possible involvement in the disaster. At least 38 of 67 people on board the plane were killed in the crash. I mean, the fact that some people survived is pretty amazing. But I mean, yeah, as I understand it, that the Russians, they're not even necessarily denying. I mean, they're just saying that their anti-craft, aircraft system just basically it got too close. It fell within range and got hit. So that's messed up.
That's in Kazakhstan. That's where the boxer Triple G is from. Gennady Golovkin. He's from Kazakhstan, the Ukraine. But hey, we know what happened. Putin on his BS. That's what he do. This ain't the first plane that got shot down. Y'all remember this happened before, about maybe 10 or 8 years ago. But they destroyed it in the sky. But this happened already. But this one, luckily, about 40 people or 39 people survived, something like that, which is truly amazing. I know that was a fiery nightmare they lived. So God bless them folks. But that's what's happened. That's why my boy Trump gonna slide through and be like, "Yo, Putin, you need to chill with all that, bro. That's a wrap with all that."
Wait a minute. Hold on. He said Trump going to do what now?
Trump gonna slide through like, look, my nigga, you need to chill with all this stuff, bro. Straight up, yeah.
Well, hey,
Trump to the
I hope
rescue.
it works. I hope it works. You know what I'm saying? It's a tragedy. So, anybody else got anything else to say about this before we go on to the next thing?
Yeah, good thing we got Trump in there because he's going to straighten all this out.
The buzzer is Trump ain't in there. Not yet. Buzz that. Yeah.
All right. So the next situation, we have this situation that happened. So this is the lady that got burned on a New York City subway. That allegedly was, well, I shouldn't say allegedly, he's an illegal migrant. So this illegal migrant accused of burning a New York City subway rider to death on Sunday, I guess that was a Sunday ago, has been indicted on murder charges. Sebastian Zabetta, 33, was indicted on one count of murder in first degree, 3 counts of murder in the second degree, and 1 count of arson after a woman was lit on fire and burned to death on a subway train in Brooklyn, New York. I mean, this is obviously, yeah, this is an absolute tragedy. You know, I know that they want to make it about the immigrants, but like Walkie make a good point. I mean, he shouldn't be here, and if he wasn't here, this would have never happened. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not supposed to be here, you shouldn't be here. But really, this is a tragedy of one crazy person doing something absolutely terrible, and I hope they throw the every book at impossible. You got something to say about this, Brother Walt?
This is, I'm wondering, you see how this is being treated. Now that they get the identity of who the person was, this was a pure white woman that got murdered by an illegal immigrant. So it's a lot of things that happen to us where it's like just brushed under the rug and stuff of that nature. But when it happens to their community, it's like an uproar. And this is perfect timing with Trump, who about to do the mass deportations. This is like, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theory type guy, but you know what I mean? This is definitely raising the hair on a lot of people's necks, like straight up. Now, I am for mass deportations. Just don't get none of my aunties, cousins, and relatives from Central America. That's me.
First Lady Jay, you got something to say about this?
It's just sad, heartbreaking to hear, and you know, it just makes you wonder if it's another mental health situation going on. You know, unfortunate it had to happen, and I just feel sorry for the woman and her family. My heart goes out to her, whether she was homeless or not. She's still a human being.
Infamous.
Yeah, it's just sad all around the board. But what I got to say about the immigrants is, Walk, I'm sorry, your peoples, they from Central America, they might have to go. You know, gotta go.
Well, hey,
run, Auntie, run, run. I got you.
Now,
take it to my house. You good?
Full disclaimer. Go ahead. I want to say full disclaimer. You know, the percentage of violence and criminality from immigrants is smaller in proportion to the violence and criminality of the people that are residents here. So I don't want to make it of an issue of we're just bringing over criminal people, but criminal people are coming over too. And at the end of the day, you know, this guy shouldn't have been here. And if he wasn't been here, maybe that person has still been alive. So that having been said, I want to pivot on to the next one. What we got up next, Infamous El Poo? All right, so Biden. Okay, so he's still not done. So President Joe Biden announced that he's commuting the sentences of 37 of 40 people on federal death row, converting their punishments to life imprisonment just weeks before President-elect Donald Trump, an outspoken proponent of expanding capital punishment, takes office. So this move spares the lives of people convicted in killings, including the slayings of police and military officers, people on federal land, and those involved in deadly bank robberies or drug deals, as well as the killing of guards or prisoners in federal facilities. Now, you said 37 or 40. There's 3 people that didn't get that relief That's Dylan Roof, who carried out the 2015 racist slayings of 9 black members of the Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina. We got I want his name is Zokar Tarznev, the 2013 Boston Marathon bomber, and Robert Bowers, who fatally shot 11 congregants at Pittsburgh's Tree of Life Synagogue in 2018, the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. So, he pardoned his son. Now, he pardoned his son freely. These people, they just got commuted, so they're still going to spend life in jail. But the bottom line is he delivered them from the death penalty, which a lot of the liberals have an issue with. So, you got some type of take on this, Brother Walt?
Yes, more hypocrisy on Joe Biden. This is him being a hypocrite again. Okay, what about the 3? Still, if you're gonna pardon, you should have pardoned everybody. The people you killed, that was bad. But the ones you killed, you can escape the death penalty. He should have pardoned everybody if you're gonna pardon, because one life is not more important than the other. But it's all political within itself, what he did, which is the same crap he's been doing since he's been in office. Now, but here's the thing. It's a lot of the people that got pardoned. Like one lady, she spoke of her dad was kidnapped, tortured for like a week, trying to get money. They was trying to get money out the family. Those 2 guys have escaped the death penalty. And it's nothing no one can do. So I'm just a proponent of, if you're going to do it for one, do it for everybody. He should have just pardoned the whole death row, I don't know, category, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
I would say that there's levels to this, but First Lady J, you got something to say about this?
This is deep. For me, it was like a catch-22. What Walk saying has some truth in it. Like, as far as doing all, it looked like the ones that he didn't let go was based more so on racism type of situation. And like Walk said, all of them murdered someone. There was somebody's family member that was taken from them. I read some of the stories too. Some of them were heartfelt. I really don't understand his purpose of why he only selected 97% of the people that he chose. I also feel like, when a person does not get the death penalty, it gives them more time to keep thinking about what they did, whether they're remorseful or not about it. But my sentiments are kind of similar to Walk's. So, like, you should have just either let all of them go or not done it at all.
Infamous Pooh, what you got to say about this?
Since we're freeing people, can we free my homeboy SA, my homeboy Doughboy, Joker? I got a whole list of people, but I'm not going to even say it all. But wait till Trump gets in there. He's going to start either letting off these January 6th offenders and all kinds of stuff. You talk about hypocritical. We're going to see what's hypocritical once this man takes office again.
And I want to point out, I want to clarify. I mean, again, I believe in capital punishment as far as that I think is appropriate, but I don't believe it as a system. I don't believe it's something that the government should be doing just because, innocents are going to get sucked up in that stuff. I do think it's different when you're talking about people that are mass killers, because you talk about the Boston bomber and stuff like that. I mean, it's one thing to kill one person. It's one thing to kill a whole bunch of people. So I do think there's levels to this. And for whatever reason, I mean, again, there's just a lot of people that don't believe in killing people no matter what they did. So, he pleased some of them. He pissed off a whole bunch of people, the fact that he didn't get those 3. But, I know that Trump is a person that really believes in capital punishment. And, he's probably going to have a heavy hand about that. Now, that pardon thing, that's a whole nother issue. But, kind of is what it is. That having been said, what we got up next? Infamous El Pooh.
Okay, what's next? Your boy again.
All right. So we're going to talk about the brother, Trump. Now, what's Trump got going on over there? Who knows anything specifically about what he is? Because we know that he's been flirting with trying to go after Panama Canal, or U.S. getting control of that again, and even like going after Greenland. Anybody know anything particular about this?
Okay, well, he claims that he wants to take over he wants to buy Greenland from Denmark. He wants to make Canada the 51st state. He wants to start a trade war with Canada, Mexico, probably the EU. We already know China and the BRICS nations. All that stuff is going to backfire on him. This will really wreck the economy. That's what most economists say. China's ready to retaliate. In fact, they're actually trying to negotiate right now, saying they hope that President Trump would do the right thing and be reasonable about it. But Trump being Trump, and then you got Elon Musk out here doing what he's doing. Who knows what's going to happen? But just think about this. Why would he try to threaten, just for instance, Canada, and say Canada needs to be the 51st state? It's only one way you can do that. That's by just go ahead and just colonizing Canada. That means you're going to just take it over. Does that sound reasonable to you? I mean, who's really with this?
I mean, the thing about it is, if you're desperate for territory, United States has territory that's not part of the United States. You might as well, at least give them the rights. Puerto Rico is a United States territory. The president of Puerto Rico is the president of the United States. I mean, they might as well, actually have voting rights and have more citizenship benefits. So I'm saying, if you really want to expand, but, it seems like he wants to expand to, particular personnel. So,
Okay.
But a lot of that is just kind of just talk as far as with Canada. Canada is its own country, even though they do have protection by just being connected to the United States. Like, nobody messes with Canada because who's right under them. That's pretty much the reason. So, I mean, but that's silly to try to make them the 51st state. That's just silly talk right there. But I get it. But as far as with the Panama Canal, that I think that's something that's going to happen for sure. That America is going to take over, because we built it for them. We actually built that for them because, what I'm saying, that's a major route to get imports in and out to the countries in Central America, down there to us. It's a major route that's needed. They need to expand it because they want bigger ships to come through there. Like, what I'm saying? So I get that. And I think that's probably going to happen within the next 2 years.
Why would that happen when the United States that gave it back to them about 25 years ago or so?
Yeah, they want them to just run it. But they like, yo, it's like the dope game. It's like I give you a block and I'm like, yo, man, you're not really making no money. And I'm like, bro, I need to. There's more you can be doing. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? You're right. That's just like America. Give something to you and take you right back. Huh?
Oh, yeah. First Lady J, you got something to say about this? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm having some issues, so I'm going to come off and come back on. But First Lady J, you got a take on this?
No, I do not have a take on it.
Okay, while you logging off, I got some more to say.
All right, that's what's up. Go
What's
ahead.
the deal with charging tariffs for Canada and Mexico? I mean, come on now. First of all, Canada has nothing to do with the flow of drugs coming into the United States at all. Mexico has very little to do with it because all the drugs come in and then they're manufactured out here in the United States anyway. So, I mean, what is this man doing? What is he trying to prove? This is what all I want to know is, what is he trying to prove with these trade wars, with these tariffs? And if you know it's going to cause hardships, or if you don't know it's going to cause hardships, maybe you shouldn't be in office. But if it's going to cause hardships to the American people, what's the point? Is he trying to wreck the economy?
I mean, he believes, his argument is that, it's we're going to have to spend more money. We're not going to get the benefits of outsourcing a lot of this stuff. But the bottom line is that money's going to stay here. So even though we're not saving as far as price, we're going to be saving as far as keeping dollars here, and that this will make here stronger. That's his argument. I'm not saying that that's going to work, but
That's
I'm
a
just
good
saying
argument.
that that's
That's
the
fair. That's a
argument
fair
there. So
assessment. But here's the thing: then you're going to cut taxes for the rich people. So that means you just basically tariffs is nothing but a tax on the people, right?
yeah, it is the tax. I mean, you can call it what you want to, but it's 100% a tax.
It's a tax. And then if you cut the taxes for the rich people, I mean, yeah, that means that you're going to have to take more from the poor, right?
Well, it's not that you're taking more from the poor; you're just taking less from the rich. But you're the poor is basically now being, I guess, responsible for more of what's in there. But the theory of it is that if you give rich people more money, they're gonna do things and make more money and make more jobs. That's the argument. We always talk about that trickle down theory. I don't necessarily believe that stuff is true, but it takes money to make money, and there's something to be said about people that are they're constantly throwing money into the machine. So it in theory it's going to be provide jobs, and that's what they're hoping it's going to do. I mean, we know that. Look, he's got a bunch of billionaire friends. He's putting a bunch of billionaires in his cabinet, and they're going to do billionaire things that benefit billionaires. All we can do is hope that we're going to get something from it. But a lot of us are not of the belief that we are going to get something. Some people, maybe on this panel, think that we are, but
So
again,
what you just described to me is what's called an oligarchy. You got billionaires running the government, just a few of them, and then other people are actually paying more. And the people that's less fortunate are going to be the ones that's going to pay more, because rich people tend to, when they make more money, they tend to save more money.
this is a great point. Because rich people are like stingy. So, when you talk about Trump that says like, I hate overtime and stuff like that, that's not for the people talk. Overtime is important to me. Well, I mean, I'm salaried now, but I'm just saying that, overtime is something that impacts the regular person big time. You got something to say about that, First Lady J? What you think about overtime and benefits to help employees as opposed to just putting more money in the employer's pocket?
Overtime, is helpful for the employees. Of course, we do understand that, but it can also be hurtful for the employer as well. So for small businesses, that would definitely hurt them badly. And I have to deal with a lot of overtime at work with my staff. Being in the medical field, just because we close at 5:30 and they already done put their 8 hours in, we're not necessarily done with the patient. So when I go to process payroll, being private practice, I hear my bosses like in my ear, like, "Whoa, all this overtime," and so it's a juggling scales, Oh,
Yeah, juggling those
hurtful
profits.
and helpful at the same time.
You say juggling those profits?
Juggling those profits over the people.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We
You got
had a
some-
comment from Big Cuz. Big Cuz had left a comment. What did he say?
No, he put that. He said trickle down only enriches the rich. I mean, and that's the theory of it. The bottom line is what you're relying on and anticipating and hoping for is that these people are going to have some either morality or just merely greed is going to force them to sort of like hyper it stimulate the economic machine. But just because you make a whole bunch of more money doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to put that into your business. That might mean that you might get a bigger car, bigger house, fancier clothes, fancier whatever. So I mean, it doesn't necessarily go hand in hand. So that's kind of the problem. Because also says this: we live in a country that supports no affordable healthcare, housing, and so on. This to me is the big issue. I saw a meme out there that was talking about how America, you have to pay this much interest, this much money if you have an issue. You need to go to a hospital, and there's a whole list of all these other countries where you're not paying anything. And I mean that to me that's humongous. That's I'm really I understand that that's kind of your industry, First Lady J. So that's an industry that's feeding you. So I'm just saying I get that, but I'm just saying that this thing has to be structured in a different way where the common people still have access to the medical attention that they need. Much more functionally.
Excuse me. Just because I'm in the medical field does not mean that I agree with everything that goes on. I complain about a lot of things. There are a lot of things that the entire staff, all the way down to the doctors, that we do not agree with, that's taking place in the medical. And one thing that I definitely learned, that a lot of doctors do not stick together. How they say people of color don't stick together and come together. I feel like if a lot of doctors come together and open their mouths and unite, there can be some other changes that take place. They accept a lot of stuff that I feel like they don't have to accept, because without them providing the necessary care that's needed for these patients, they can't heal, they can't practice medicine, they can't, so for the insurance, I don't think it's right, but I understand why that guy snapped on the CEO. There's a lot that's not fair. Like I was just telling someone, come January the 1st, I feel so sorry for all the patients. We're about to deal with a massive amount of calls. For instance, if your diabetic medicine was covered all 2024, come 2025, you have that same insurance, your medication is not going to be covered. I deal with this every year, and it's sad because a lot of patients don't understand. They're cussing us out, attacking us, when it's your insurance. You're paying these premiums, deductibles, so forth, copays, but you're not getting the formulary changes every year. And if you're really for the patient, you will be for the patient, but companies are really for themselves. And so they're not really advocating for the patient. So yes, I'm in a medical. I've been in medical for over 30 years, but it doesn't mean that I agree with everything that takes place within the medical industry.
I kind of want to not piggyback, but speak on that, because there are a lot of, like Nice Guy mentioned, that a lot of companies that have free healthcare and things of that nature, but a lot of those countries, the people are risking their lives to get over here. Don't tread on me, buddy. Don't tread on me, buddy. Don't do that.
Yeah, but we running over there to get medical treatment. They coming over here to live. They going back over there to get medical treatment.
Exactly. Like a lot of people go to Mexico to get a lot of treatments. But
yeah, exactly.
BBLs don't count, bro. BBLs don't count.
They going for the dental work more. So the dental industry is highway robbery, and that's considered being in the medical. So a lot of people do go to other countries, but once again, you still have to be cautious about who you're getting your treatment from crossing the border.
Yeah, because I know people that have gone over there for cancer treatment. So I mean, it's not just a function of BBL.
Mm-hmm.
But Big Cuz says, it looked like you about to say something else, but I'm gonna read this. Big Cuz says, if doctors speak against the practice in place, doctors will experience a pay cut, i.e., insurance practices. So I mean, that's you're kind of biting the hand that feeds you. But I mean, you got to weigh. But what were you about to say, Infamous?
Yeah, what kills me is a whole lot of Americans don't realize that the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare is the same thing. So they voting to get rid of Obamacare and get rid of the Affordable Care Act. Now they were polled, a lot of people were polled, and they found out that Obamacare was the American Care Act. These people are just, what's wrong with people? What is wrong with this country? We don't do any type of research. We just like to be fed information. Sorry,
I mean, and I want to point out, I think the doctors should get paid. I don't want to take money away from doctors, because that's a hard job. You know what I'm saying? You have to go through a lot to become a doctor. Medical school is expensive. You're talking about exposure. You're dealing with life or death. I want doctors to get paid. I just want the machine to work differently, where the consumer can get the type of medical needs that they get. We can figure it out how we figure it out. I still want them to get paid, but people need to get their treatment, their medical. We can prevent a whole lot of stuff with what they call an ounce of prevention, a pound of cure, whatever type of situation. So that's my thing. But First Lady J, you were about to say something?
The doctors honestly don't get paid what you guys may think that they get paid. Certain specialists or surgeons, for instance, the OBGYN, them delivering babies, they may get a sufficient amount of money. Let's say, for instance, I work for private practice and internal medicine. With all these HMOs, just imagine you going to the doctor 3 times a month, the same doctor, but the doctor only get paid one time, and that's like $15 a month. But you didn't came in to see the doctor like 3 or 4 times, so they have to do what's called capitation, take capitation payments. The things have changed so much, especially here in California with medicine. So these doctors are not making the money that some people think that they're making. Some of them are struggling. Some of them are subleasing just to keep their heads above water. And people think that they're actually making money. I used to be one of those people that thought that until I actually became one of the ones behind the scene that's doing the billing and collecting the checks and seeing what the payments. They got it to now where the people that come in for their physical exams, they don't have to pay their copay. So guess what? The doctors are losing there. I hate to put it out there, but Blue Cross really sucks. I'm gonna put it out there. They don't really pay the doctors. These patients come in, even if their deductible is paid and met, they still not paying the doctor. So you have to chase for the money. So to be honest, the doctors are not making what people think they're making. That's what makes me upset about the doctors. It's like you guys are afraid to stand up for what you need and want. I honestly am one of those that advocates for the patients. I try to make sure I'm there for the well-being of the patient. I know my job, but I'm a patient too. My family members are patients. So, I'm going to do what's right. I'm not just going to focus on it's going to benefit my job. I can care less about the job. I'm concerned about this person's life.
Yeah, so doctors are they definitely will make more doing the private practice. Like my chiropractor, they it's paid through my job. Yeah, this dude, I'm not paying it. I seen the bill for that one, all that, and I go 5 times a month. One session, he got paid $380. Yeah, he making some chippers, and I go 5 times a month, and he don't really do nothing but crack my back, crack my neck, and put the heat pad on my low back. I'm like, man, that's some good money.
Let me ask you this. You saw the bill, but did you see the actual payment? Like when you get your EOB, what's called an explanation of benefit, do you see what your insurance or if it's workers' comp or whatever it is, of what they actually pay? Because I can bill.
I didn't know all that.
No, because you're adamant that the doctors make money, but I'm trying to tell you. Just because you saw that bill, what was the reimbursement?
I don't care. He making money. Like he drive a Porsche.
And you charge $225 and you gonna get your $225. When these doctors are billing, they only getting a certain percentage.
Yeah, Hey, just because an attorney has a big hourly rate or something like that, getting paid and making money and getting paid money is 2 different things. Not to mention how expensive it is. If you're like a medical facility, your equipment is extremely expensive. So I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that's going into this. So the fact that the machine gets whatever money, what actually makes it to the human being is a different situation. So we got to keep it real about that.
Well, this will be less of an argument if they get rid of Obamacare anyway, because a whole lot of people will be losing their benefits or their insurance coverage anyway, or a lot of people wouldn't even qualify because they'll be turned down because of having pre-existing conditions. So,
yeah, there is a lot of things wrong with it, but the bottom line is you don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. If there's something wrong with something, you fix that. And these people were so fixated with just basically, look, we want to take away that victory. We want to take away that win so much. We're not thinking about the fallback, to all these other people. A lot of these politicians who were absolutely dependent and benefiting from these, the affordable care,
Big L said it best right here, because they feel it would benefit Black people.
I mean, I don't know, but this would probably be a good time to start some of those commercials. Let's do a few of them. Let's start off with La Brea Trucking. Sorry to catch you off guard with that, El Poo.
Yeah, you surely did.
So that's for all of your trucking needs from the East Coast to the West Coast, North to the South, and all points in between. You know, you play the video, look at the phone number, La Brea Trucking, a member of the Focus Up family, and they'll take care of you with a great fleet and great service. What's up, man? That's gobealive.org. Go get you some of that black honey. And you know what? If you want to get it in person, there's the Petty Vice in Venice, and then at the Afro City Marketplace in the Crenshaw Mall. And you know, she's doing big things. I seen she got shirts, so maybe I'll get me one of them Go Be Alive shirts, rock a fit. But Sister Nidra, we're gonna bring you on the show to give us some more education about the benefits of honey. You know, that miraculous substance that doesn't go bad. You can have 6,000-year-old honey and it's still just fine. But that
yeah, and said, honey good for that immune system. That bug going around. A lot of y'all need some black honey and stay away from me.
That's the Score Bar and Lounge up there. I want to say in Sacktown, where they just recently fired Mike Brown. But you know, the bottom line is you watching some good sports, get you some good wings, you know, get you some good drinks, and celebrate that black business.
Sex Talk with Walk. People been asking about that. What's going on with it?
Yes, Sex Talk with Walk. I'm doing a show today. I'm doing it, but it's going to air Thursday. The importance of trust in a relationship. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, Sex Talk Walk every Thursday, 9 p.m. Yes, let's go. What's up, big man?
Turn up the dial, it's 10:30. We back. Spin that back show, all the classics on track. From 79 to 99, we're crossing the gap. Album reviews, little known facts, hip hop intact. Saturday mornings, dive into the history. Samples and stories, old school mysteries. Early self-static, Shiraz, and TDG. Nola Batapine. Turn it up, let the vinyl spin. 10:30 sharp, where the stories begin. From the golden era, treasures within. Spin that back show every Saturday when we break it down, the legends and the lore. Every beat, every rhyme, uncover more. From Grandmaster Flash to Nas's Raw, we're bridging the past, hip-hop's core.
And that is the Spin That Back show today at 10:30. Check us out. We're going to be talking about the Fugees. All right. So you ready to move back on?
We are ready to get back on. So then what we got up next, Infamous El Poo? The Beyonce halftime show. Now look, I'm going to tell you, I didn't hear about it. I didn't know about it till after the fact. Once I saw people talking about it, I'm thinking like, are they talking about from the Super Bowl from like last year or, you know, whatever it was? I didn't know nothing about nothing, but I did check it out. I thought it was very dope. I wasn't particularly into the music because it was, you know, I'm not a big fan of country, But I mean, it was a spectacle. It was amazing. She puts on a fantastic pageant. I mean, she's paying a lot of people. You see that video? I'm sorry, First Lady Jay. I know you've seen the video, right?
I saw it after you sent it to us. Amazing performance from beginning to ending. You know, usually I don't even keep up with stuff that's going on with Beyonce, but to me, I thought it was a great comeback from all the backlash that she caught from doing, you know, the country song. Texas Hold, her daughter, Blue Ivy, performed. I mean, from the cars to the clothes, the choreography was just on point. And at the end, she definitely went out with a bang, like the sign saying. And I think that, you know, she was just letting them know, like, yeah, I can do this. I am a Texan and I can get the country swag. And all the Black people that were in there, the cowboys, they did their thing. Hats off to them. I love the performance. Perfect for Christmas. The all white was on point. Go ahead.
She had old boy Shabuzi on this. Shabuzi. One. Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Yeah, it was a good show. It was like you, Mr. Nice Guy. I didn't know about. I was looking at the previews like, is this from 3 years ago? Like, yeah. But it was a big. I don't know if she was just trying to promote her album, which she got a lot of flack from white folks. They really kind of rejected her doing a country album, which that song Texas Hold'em was #1 on the country charts. And then I don't even think she got nominated for a country music award. You know what I mean? Kind of cuckoo. But the show was a little over the top for that trash ass game. That the show was better than the game. You know what I'm saying? But you know, she did the thing. She was looking good with her old behind.
Oh, because he said
that's still looking fine.
That was a wake-up call that she is that so-called Black woman.
Oh, she Black enough. I'll tell you what. No, I didn't see it. I'm boycotting Netflix. But I will say this. I tried looking for it, but I ain't been into Beyonce since that Crazy in Love video. I just want to see her on the ground doing that. Uh-oh. She wasn't doing that. I ain't watching it.
And see, this would have been perfect if we'd had Susan on, so she could have been speaking on Beyonce. But I don't know. I'm a fan of her music. I'm a fan of her performances. I mean, I don't buy it. I mean, it's female music. My wife listens to it, you know, whatever. So if I'm in a car with her, I'm gonna listen to it, and some of it, you know, it actually sounds good to me. But you know, I mean, I definitely think she's an amazing actress. I mean, an amazing performer. And I know a lot of people are saying that they feel like she maybe has surpassed Michael Jackson. I mean, I'm not necessarily going that far, but you know, she's definitely doing her thing. You speak on it, First Lady Jane. Don't just shake on it. Speak on it.
It's hard to top Michael Jackson, so you know it's no need to even go there. Let her stay in her lane. Let him stay in her lane. She definitely has talent. She's a great performer. I don't buy her music either, but if I hear something of hers that I like, I listen to it. I give credit where credit due. No, she's not gonna surpass MJ. Point blank.
People ain't fainting and passing out and crying when they see Beyonce. So knock that off. But I do like how she represented too with the whoop 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 at the end too. Oh, glory blazing high. Yeah, that's what it is. Don't tread on me.
She did that. I will give her credit. You know, if I have to rate it 10 out of 10 on that performance.
So that having been said, what we have up next is, I was clicking it on you. Sorry about that, El Poo, jumping in there. California spent $24 billion on homelessness over the last 5 years, and we don't know where that money went to. So, you know, 24 billion, you think you might have fixed the problem.
They could have handed out money. Hey, that's what they're doing in Colorado. Some a city in Colorado, they was just giving homeless people money, and it started to work. People was getting places and getting jobs. That's probably what they should have did, because California, we have in the Los Angeles area, it's over 47,000 homeless people in Los Angeles alone. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of damn people. And I don't see no difference. Y'all know my word that I love to use. It seems like it's getting worse, sir.
I mean, and this is the place that people congregate and come to. It's like they always talk about how females coming on the town coming from out of town on the Greyhound. I mean, homeless people. This is a place because of the weather. It allows them to be like that because back east and stuff like that. Especially in those real harsh. You just can't function like that. So, but it's a big problem here. And I mean, 24 billion, boy, it's hard to think that we couldn't have made a whole lot more progress than we did with 24 billion. I mean, maybe I'm not crunching the numbers properly, but I don't know, man.
A lot of that money went toward vouchers for hotels and things of that nature. It was like putting a Band-Aid on a shotgun wound to the back. You know what I'm saying? It really didn't do much. I don't see the difference, but a lot of went toward vouchers. But you can't just bring somebody from off the street, put them in a hotel, and then after the voucher is up, then what they're going to do? It has to be a whole system at play. And that person, too, that you're helping, they have to want to get up off the street. Honestly, I've dealt with homeless people. People very close to me were homeless. And listen, they probably still homeless because you can't move in here with me. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm ignorant. I don't know why I'm tripping. But anyway, they have to have something in play to keep them off of the streets. Temporary vouchers is not the ticket. That's just a temporary something to do real fast. So I don't have a solution for the homeless problem because, to be honest, if us four up here, if we decided we want to be homeless, who can stop us? If I'm like, I'm gonna go live on the beach, take my car and drive to the beach. I'm living at the beach now. Who gonna stop me? It's no one to stop me. My family will come, drag me, scrub me down, give me a bath. I'm back at the beach like, okay, I don't want to take a bath. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So who can stop it? It's no solution for this problem.
First Lady J, you got something to say about this?
First of all, I think before any money is issued out, you do have to implement a plan. A plan has to be implemented before money is issued out. Look over that plan and see if you think the plan is going to work. When people think of homeless, they're just thinking of the people that's out there on the curb, on the corner by the freeway and stuff, not thinking about all the veterans, not thinking about all these people with these Section 8 vouchers that have been issued to them, but they don't have a place to live because there's not enough housing. That's why they're allowing people to start converting their garages into units so people can have a place. They're considered homeless too, whether they stay with me, walk, or whomever. They're not in their own place. So before California issuing out this money, they need to they should have implemented a plan. Not only just throwing the homeless the vouchers, like Walk said, a lot of these homeless people have mental issues, try to get some of these hotels downtown and other places and put these people in there. But when they were placing them people in there, those people were in there acting a fool, not mentally right there. So you can't just grab somebody and place them. And like Walk said, it's temporary housing, there should have been more tiny homes, but we have so many empty lots and stuff. Like, I know all of you guys remember the Hawthorne Mall right there that's sitting up there, that big old
Still sitting there.
Like, that could have been implemented and turned into a shelter. Some of that 24 billion could have been offered there. So I think the part that comes when you I always say, now if you don't have a plan, then more than likely you're gonna fail. So they should have had a plan instead of just throwing out dollars. So of course it's really not going to be accounted for because it's like, where is it? Where are these people? It does look like they're homeless. Some people did get off the streets, but it's too many to just say, okay, yeah, I see a big difference.
And that's a good. There's two good points I want to piggyback on you, because when you talk about the land that's not being used, we got a lot of land that's not being used for living. We got a lot of land that's not being used for growing food. I mean, there's a lot of resources that we can be tapping to. This stuff just naturally grows. I understand there's work with farming, cultivating. It's not just whatever, but I'm just saying that just the way that nature works, we can exploit this machine in a better way to get people shelter, to get people food, and just to take care of people better than we are. Now, I know that despite that they may not have done the best work with this 24 billion, I'm pretty sure that there's people that have benefited from it, people that are no longer on the streets because of it. And, I always say that, look, it's, the end goal is the end goal. That's what you shoot for. But you still appreciate what can be done or what is being done. And you can't be satisfied with that. You got to go get more than that. But that having been said, it's not all crapping on them for what's been going on. You look like you're about to say something infamous.
Yeah, I got something to say. What is being done? Where's the accountability? What happened to all that money? Where was it spent? Can we get some type of accounting for this money? That's what the whole big, the argument is right there.
And I think that's go directly on. Well, I'm speaking for the LA area. That's on Bass, but Newsom is the governor, so he was kind of shelling out the money, so it's on him as well. But a lot of this stuff, I think it was just went on stuff like, okay, I got this money, I'm gonna hire you, nice guy, to do this, and we just hiding, just paying our peoples. All right, set up a shelter for a month. All right, you made $1 million, but it only cost $25,000 to make this shelter. I think a whole bunch of that was going on. I think a lot of that was going on. The money is just like, okay, I'm gonna keep like a $200,000 off of this $500,000 they gave me. You know what I mean? But it ain't no cure for this.
So failing to plan mean planning to fail. I think Mayor Bass meant well because she went in strong, but I think she didn't realize how big of a job she put in. Was that Garcetti that, left a mess behind? So, she come in as a cleanup woman. And once again, I don't think she was even aware of, like I said, the people with Section 8 vouchers are considered homeless as well, because they got the vouchers, but there's no place for them to utilize them because there's not enough housing. So, you have those. So she probably did hire a crew or whatnot, and they probably did get overwhelmed because there was never a plan in force. It's just, I need money, and just like one of the buildings, I think somewhere on 8th Street, where they were supposed to get that building, they agreed to certain things, signed up for a plan, but when they got there, the job was bigger than what they signed up for. There's a whole lot that we may not know about, and yes, people want to know what happened to the money, but yes, Newsom was issuing it out, but I think she had a bigger job than what she realized, because she dove in and she tried not to think she meant well, but there was no plan to begin with.
And I'm like this, like what Nice Guy said too, a lot of people are coming from different states to here. If I was homeless, I would do that too, because I remember driving down PCH, like toward Malibu, and I looked on the side of the mountain. It was like a tarp. It was a big old tarp, so it's like somebody's living there. I was like, if I was homeless, that's where I'll be living, right there. He got beachfront property, the nice waves, beautiful women, food, money. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Well, some people are nomadic. And I mean, I feel like that speaks to the people that you're talking about, that's just, they're going to do what they're going to do. And, they're consenting to that. When we talk about the homelessness as a problem, I try to think about the people that are not trying to be homeless, the people that would want to aspire to be more. But we understand that the problem with homelessness, there's also just some people that are, you got some shady characters. I'd be worried about creating these sort of like complexes where you got a whole bunch of homeless people staying, because, you're probably going to be having a lot of people on the run staying there and then terrorizing those people. That place will end up being like the Carter from the New Jack City type situation. You can't just put them in somewhere and hope this is going to help. You're gonna have to put some type of security. There's just going to be all type of things to do. So it's a big ordeal. But, again, just because you don't make something perfect, I mean, making something better is still better. So I say that let's aspire to do what we can do and understand what we can't do. But, that having been said, let's talk about, let's give a Black excellence shout out to, this thing called the 6888. Now we don't have all the pictures and the music because Mr. Floyd X he made it a lot more complicated. We didn't know, so salute to Mr. Floyd X for doing all that stuff. But yeah, you know, I heard people, you know, posting little things or speaking on it, whatever. But you know, me and my wife watched it last night, and I'm gonna tell you right now, at least 3 or 4 times I was trying not to cry. Like, you know what I'm saying? It really made me emotional. And I just like, you know, I'm not gonna give her the satisfaction to see me cry. But you know what I'm saying? It was really, really tough. And you know, it also made me very angry. I understand the white people are like, oh, we sick of hearing about, you know, how things were, but this is the reality of what was going on with us. We had struggles in places where they just didn't have struggle. All they had to be white. It's like you are already in a bad situation when you're dealing with war and all this other stuff. Then on top of that, we have to deal with the war amongst ourselves. So it was always a situation where we couldn't just meet what they were doing. We had to go above and beyond just to have an attempt at sort of like touching that level. But you seen this movie, Brother Wap? What'd you think about it?
It was real good. It was real good. Carrie Hilton, what's her name?
Carrie Washington. Yeah, Carrie Washington.
Carrie Washington. Yep, she's beautiful. She did her thing. She was tough in that movie. She represented. I never seen her like that, and that blew my mind. Just her performance, top notch level actor. Like that's why. She proven black women don't get their props in Hollywood from what she did in that movie. That's some Oscar nomination right there. Come on now. So the movie totally I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's parts in there I didn't like, wasn't feeling Tyler Perry. Not at all, but I'm gonna say that for another day. I'm gonna say that.
You know what? That's a lot of discipline on your part, Walt, because I kind of feel you on that. I think I know where you're going. Is it like a Snow Bunny type dynamic?
I'm not, no comment.
Okay. First Lady J, what was your take on this?
You know, I usually don't do this, but I've watched that movie 4 times in one week. You know, and I watched it just to see if I missed anything. I made my family watch it on Christmas. You know, it was like I felt like a part of history. You know, Floyd X made a point like you get tired of, you know, hearing and seeing things about our people, but you know, that movie showed black women excellently. You know, it was an all black, all female army, and Kerry Washington played the role of Major Charity Adams, and she played it to the T. Ebony Obsidian, she played Lena Darricott very well, and just want to throw it out there. Lena was the one that was you know, low-key courting the Jewish guy that you know, some people weren't feeling, but it was an excellent movie. You know, these women were given a task to get this within 6 months. You know, they have to deal with sexism, racism, all of that, and they got this mail out in less than 90 days. You know, they had a motto where their thing was no mail, low morale. You know, they pretty much belittled these ladies. And when I say Kerry Washington deserved her Oscar, this is a movie where Tyler Perry did his thing. It was different. I would love to see more movies like this by Tyler Perry. And the women that, you know, that were in this battalion, you know, a lot of them lived to be 100 years old. The oldest one just died this year in June, I believe, at the age of 104. These women were not really recognized by the U.S. They didn't give them their props until like 2022 after dealing with all this crap. And, you know, then there was also a fort that was renamed from one of the Confederates, and they renamed it back in 2023, I believe. And the one that Kerry Washington played the role of Charity Adams, they renamed it after her and another Black man. So it's like so sad that you have to wait so long to be honored. And when I say at least 5 or 6 of them women live to be in their in 100, they have to, go through 17 million pieces of mail. And they have to prove their point. So, don't underestimate us Black women. We just don't have the power of pushing out babies. We have power to where, it's hard to describe. And so I salute them. Like, I love this movie. Like, it was the best movie of the year.
I know you watched it 4 times.
Yes, I did. It was very sentimental. I mean, like,
it almost broke me, man. I don't know if I could sit through another showing of that movie.
I know several men, relatives, my son-in-law, all of them. They were like, I was sitting up. They were acting like you, not wanting to tear up. But the truth is the truth. You can't help but to feel what they were going through. And that one guy that told Major that he would never salute her, he bowed down in the end. So that was.
I mean, and it's like, it's so important. It's, my thing is this: in life, there's a lot of things going on, and it's like in every little thing, you can do something that may seem kind of simple, seem whatever, but it's so impactful. Because when you talk about the communication, when you're talking about these families that their child is off as whatever, loved one is out, they don't know nothing. They're sending letters, not getting it back. I mean, this is important. I can feel the way that I feel about America and whatever stuff like that, but just on some human being stuff, this was an incredible accomplishment. It is a credible human empathy type situation where you basically connected people across the world. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I mean, it's touching. Like I said, I there's only so much I can talk about it before I get messed up about it. Now, Infamous El Poor, I know you didn't see it, so I don't know if there's something that you might want to say about it. But after you say what you want to say, I'm going to read. There's a little bit of wordiness, but Afro Agnostics has sent me something to speak on this, and I do want to put his opinion out here. So what you got to say?
Okay. I didn't watch the movie yet, but I am going to check it out. It sounds like it's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and check it out and everything. I do like Kerry Washington. I think she's a great actress, so I'll check it out. But Tyler Perry's in there. I feel about him the same way I feel about Puffy being on Biggie songs. Maybe he shouldn't have been there, probably. I don't know. I haven't seen it, though. I'm just saying.
I didn't see him in this movie.
He wasn't in it. Oprah was in it. But I will add this. It was just so sad because this was the U.S. Army. And for the United States not to honor these people until 2022, it's sad. Yeah. It speaks volumes. It's just sad. Europe and France, they recognized them before the U.S. and they were in the U.S. Army. Very sad.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because again, I never even heard of this story. So I mean, it's like you through the course of history, there's been these type of great triumphant stories that just don't make it to the people. You just don't find out about. But it's very important to hear, very important to celebrate. And our lives will never be the same after the 6888. That battalion is going to resonate with American citizens henceforth, like forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a big deal. But bear with me. Let me read this because this is from Brother Afro Agnostics. He's making some good points here. So he says this film and others like it, Tuskegee Airmen, Hidden Figures, etc., could be better titled "Saving America Overseas," "Still Second-Class Citizens at Home," or "Winning Wars for Imperialism While Sitting in the Back of the Bus." Said these films take place in the Jim Crow era and present a take on Black heroism rooted in passive, occasionally militant reform and cooperation with the U.S. state. Although they tell stories that need to be told, they're essentially whitewashed Hollywood hagiographies and state propaganda that give us a very passive, limited, narrow, and restricted representation of what Black heroism and resistance to oppression looks like. The Black heroes in these movies are often depicted as working within, on, or behalf of the government. They prove their value by proving their patriotism and demonstrating how well they can advance the U.S. imperialist interests. Black heroism is tied to achievement within systems of oppression. The Black hero tolerance of racism is magical and reminiscent of the hero protagonist Tom in the novel Uncle Tom's Cabin. Remember, Tom was the hero of the story and was seen by white abolitionists and white America in general. Tom only decades later became a pejorative term by Black people. So he says, in conclusion, if we want films to celebrate Black resilience, heroism, and resistance to systems of oppression, we must move away from this Uncle Tom Hollywood model. You know, as he says, there's diversity of Black approaches to confronting systematic oppression historically and in literature and in film beyond the monolith Uncle Tom based on Hollywood model. In contrast, for example, the 19th century Black written novel Blake and movies like Sweetback Badass and The Spook That Sat by the Door present a picture of Black heroism and resistance rooted in rebellion and self-liberation. He said we need more of that. But that having been said, you know, this movie was all that. So that having been said, I think we've concluded the show. You know, shout out to Brother Walk. You know, he had to take care of what he had to take care. But thank you. Like, subscribe, share. Again, say it again. Like, subscribe, share to maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. Peace out, fellas.
One more thing, y'all. This is the last show of the year. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and check us out. Happy New Year, everybody.
Spend that back coming up. Fuji's.
We out of here, y'all.